Welcome back to another episode of the Daily English Cafe podcast. I am Harvey, and I am absolutely bursting with energy today.
Hello, everyone. Welcome. I am Emma, your English language coach. Harvey, you look incredibly excited. What is happening?
Well, Emma, the big tournament is happening. The matches are intense, the stadiums are packed, and today we are talking about something every single fan needs, the ultimate matchday survival guide.
A survival guide? That sounds a bit dramatic, Harvey. To survive usually means to stay alive during a dangerous situation, like getting lost in a jungle.
You are right, it is a bit dramatic. But for football fans, match day is a huge event. If you don't prepare correctly, your day can become a total disaster. You can lose your voice, get stuck in traffic, or even worse, miss the kickoff.
Kickoff. Let's pause there for our listeners. Kickoff is a great football word. It simply means the exact time the match starts, when the player kicks the ball for the very first time. In everyday life, we can also use it to mean the start of any event, like the kickoff of a business meeting or a school project.
Exactly, and you definitely do not want to miss the kickoff. So today, we are going to give our listeners the best tips and vocabulary to get through a match day like a professional. Perfect. Let's dive in. What is your very first tip for awesome learners? Tip number 1 is all about planning your schedule. You need to clear your schedule for the day. If you have a match at 6 p.m., your match day actually starts at noon. You have to prepare your food, invite your friends, and make sure your chores are done. Clear your schedule. That is a wonderful expression. To clear your schedule means to empty your calendar. It means you cancel or move your other plans so that you are completely free. For example, if you want to study for a big English exam, you might clear your schedule on Saturday. Yes, empty that calendar, because when the game is on, you need total focus. Now, if you are watching the game at home with friends, you need to think about the atmosphere. You want to make your living room feel like a real stadium. Oh, the atmosphere. That means the feeling or the mood of a place. A stadium has an electric atmosphere because thousands of people are shouting and singing. How do we make a living room feel like that, Harvey? You need decorations. Put up flags, wear your team's jersey, and most importantly, you need to stock up on snacks and drinks. You cannot run out of food in the middle of the second half.
Oh, definitely not. Let's look at that phrasal verb, stock up on. To stock up on something means to buy a large amount of it so that you have plenty for later. Before a big storm, people stock up on water and bread. For a match day, you stock up on chips, soda, and popcorn. Precisely. And what happens if you don't stock up? You run out. To run out means you have none left. There is nothing worse than looking into the snack bowl and finding it completely empty during a penalty shootout. That does sound like a fan's nightmare. So we clear our schedule and we stock up on snacks. What is next on the survival guide?
Next is the clothing. You cannot just wear ordinary clothes on match day. You have to show your colors.
Show your colors? Literally wearing different colors?
Well, yes, but it means more than that. To show your colors means to openly show everyone which team you support. You do this by wearing the specific jersey, scarf, or hat of your favorite team. It shows your loyalty.
I love that. In everyday English, showing your colors can also mean showing your true personality or opinions. But here it means wearing that bright football shirt with pride. What if your team is playing an away game, Harvey?
Oh, if it is an away game, meaning they are playing in the opponent's stadium, you still wear your jersey at home. You want to send good energy through the television screen. It is a mathematical fact that wearing the jersey helps them win.
I am not sure that is a scientific fact, Harvey, but I love your enthusiasm.
Hey, every little bit of support helps. Now, let's talk about the most important tool for any fan, your voice. During a big match, you are going to lose your voice if you are not careful. You are screaming, you are cheering, you are yelling at the referee.
Yes, the referee, the person on the pitch who makes sure everyone follows the rules. And losing your voice means your throat becomes so tired and sore that you can only whisper. So how do we prevent this on match day?
You must stay hydrated. Do not just drink sweet sodas. You need warm tea with honey or lots of water between the halves. Trust me, if your team scores a goal in the 90th minute, you need to be able to scream at the top of your lungs. At the top of your lungs. That means as loudly as you possibly can. Imagine a singer on a stage or a child playing outside. They shout at the top of their lungs. Yes! You want the neighbors to know exactly when your team scores. Now, Emma, what about people who don't watch the game at home? What if they are going to a local cafe or a public viewing area? Oh, that is a completely different experience. Watching a match in public with hundreds of strangers is incredible, but it requires even more survival skills. Absolutely. If you are going out to a cafe to watch the game, tip number 3 is arrive early to secure a spot. If the kickoff is at 8 p.m., you should be at the cafe by 6:30 p.m. Secure a spot. That means to find and protect a good place or a good seat so that nobody else takes it. For example, if you go to a busy library, you want to arrive early to secure a spot near the window. At a cafe on match day, you want a spot right in front of the big screen. Yes, because if you arrive late, you will be standing at the back, looking over someone's shoulder, and you won't see a thing. Plus, arriving early allows you to soak up the pre-match atmosphere.
Soak up. I like that phrase. It is like a sponge absorbing water. When you soak up an atmosphere, you sit quietly or happily and just feel the energy and excitement around you. You take it all into your mind.
It is the best feeling. You see people talking, analyzing the lineups, guessing the score. It builds the anticipation. Anticipation is the feeling of excitement when you are waiting for something great to happen. It is the feeling children have the night before their birthday. Exactly. The anticipation before a big match is almost as exciting as the game itself. But now, let's talk about the emotional side of match day. This is a crucial part of the survival guide. You need to prepare yourself for an emotional roller coaster. An emotional roller coaster. A roller coaster is that fast train at an amusement park that goes up and down very quickly. So an emotional roller coaster means your feelings change from very happy to very sad in a matter of seconds. Yes! 1 minute your team is winning and you are on cloud 9. The next minute, the opponent scores and you are down in the dumps. It is exhausting. Oh, 2 wonderful idioms there. On cloud 9 means you are extremely happy and delighted. If you pass a difficult English test, you are on cloud 9. And down in the dumps means you are feeling sad and discouraged. If it rains on your holiday, you might feel down in the dumps. That is football for you. You can experience both feelings in just 90 minutes. My advice for surviving the emotional roller coaster is simple. Stay positive and never walk away until the final whistle blows.
The final whistle. That is the sound the referee makes using a small metal instrument to signal that the game is completely finished. In life, we can use the final whistle to describe the absolute end of an event or a project. And your advice is so true, Harvey. Many teams score goals in the final seconds of a match.
They do. We call it injury time or added time. It is those extra few minutes at the end of the game. That is when the true drama happens. If you turn off the TV early because you are sad, you might miss history being made. So, a good fan stays until the very end, supporting their team through thick and thin. Wow, Emma, through thick and thin? That is a perfect idiom for football fans.
Thank you, Harvey. To support someone through thick and thin means to support them during the good times and the bad times. A true friend stays with you through thick and thin. And a true football fan supports their team even when they are losing every match.
That is the definition of loyalty. Now, let's talk about the post-match phase. The game is over. The final whistle has blown. How do you survive the aftermath?
Aftermath is a strong word, Harvey. It usually means the situation that exists after a big, sometimes destructive event, like a storm or a war. What does a match day aftermath look like?
Well, if your team wins, the aftermath is a huge celebration. People are singing in the streets, texting their friends, and watching the highlights on repeat. You are full of adrenaline, and you probably won't sleep for hours.
Highlights are the short video clips that show only the most exciting parts of a game, like the goals and the near misses. It is a great way to catch up on a game if you missed it. And what if your team loses, Harvey? What is the aftermath then?
If they lose, the aftermath is very quiet. You don't want to look at your phone. You don't want to talk to anyone. You might even want to avoid social media, because your friends who support the other team will be teasing you.
Teasing. To tease someone means to laugh at them or make jokes about them in a playful way. Sometimes it is friendly, but when your team loses, it can hurt a little bit.
It definitely hurts. So, the survival tip here is be a good sport. If you win, don't tease your friends too much. If you lose, accept it with a smile. And remember, there is always the next match.
That is an excellent attitude, Harvey. Being a good sport means being polite and respectful, whether you win or lose a game. It is a quality that is important in sports, in learning a language, and in general life. Absolutely. Now, let's do a quick recap of our match day survival guide for all our listeners out there preparing for the next big game. Yes, let's review the main tips and some of the key language we learned today. First, clear your schedule and stock up on snacks early so you don't run out during the action. Remember, clear your schedule means to make yourself completely free, and stock up means to buy plenty of supplies in advance. Second, show your colors. Wear your team's jersey with pride, whether you are at home or securing a spot at a local cafe. Show your colors means to display your loyalty openly, and securing a spot means getting a good place before anyone else does.
Third, protect your voice so you can shout at the top of your lungs and prepare yourself for an emotional roller coaster.
To shout at the top of your lungs means to shout as loudly as possible, and that emotional roller coaster means your feelings will go up and down, taking you from cloud 9 to down in the dumps.
And finally, support your team through thick and thin, from the kickoff to the final whistle, and always be a good sport in the aftermath.
Supporting someone through thick and thin means being there in good times and bad. Kickoff is the start. The final whistle is the end. And the aftermath is what happens after it is all over.
Wow, we covered a lot of ground today, Emma. I feel like my survival guide is complete. I am officially ready for the next match.
You certainly are, Harvey. And to our listeners, we hope this guide helps you enjoy the tournament while building your English vocabulary. Try using some of these phrases this week. Thank you so much for hanging out with us at the cafe today. Don't forget to subscribe to the podcast and share it with your friends who love football and English. Yes, thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful match day, stay safe, and enjoy the games. See you next time on the Daily English Cafe podcast. Goodbye.
Goodbye, everyone.